The story Golden Wings by Jani Tokasiva begins in a rural, agrarian village setting where the central character, Layla, lives in solitude. Layla, a young woman with extraordinary beauty and an enigmatic aura, is largely disconnected from the local community. The villagers view her with a mixture of awe, envy, and suspicion. Layla's most captivating feature is her pair of wings, golden in hue, which she conceals from the world beneath her clothes, only unfurling them in private or under the cover of darkness. ##### themes of isolation and transformation. Layla's wings symbolize her difference, both literally and metaphorically. She lives on the outskirts of society, both geographically and emotionally. While she possesses this otherworldly gift of wings, her existence is deeply lonely. The wings, though beautiful, are also a source of burden, as they further distance her from the villagers and their normal lives. This theme of isolation is a central thread throughout the story. Layla's wings, instead of offering her freedom, paradoxically trap her in a solitary existence. She feels isolated not only from the human world, but also from her true nature, as she is unsure of where she belongs. The villagers, instead of seeing her wings as something marvelous, regard her with suspicion, fueling Layla's sense of alienation. They don't know about her wings, but can sense her difference, which creates a sense of unease among them. The villagers often gossip about her, and while they admire her beauty, they also fear and resent her mysterious nature. She's not a part of their community, and that otherness makes her an object of fascination and distrust. #### the meeting with a stranger. One evening, after years of solitude, a stranger comes into Layla's life. This stranger, a traveler named Nico, is immediately drawn to her, sensing something special about her that goes beyond her physical beauty. Nico is different from the villagers. He doesn't see Layla as an object of fear or suspicion, but instead approaches her with kindness and curiosity. Nico's arrival marks the beginning of Layla's journey towards self-acceptance and understanding. He sees Layla's wings for what they are, a part of her unique identity, and he is unafraid. His presence brings a new dynamic into Layla's life. For the first time, she opens up to someone, revealing her true self. Nico's character contrasts sharply with the villagers. While the villagers are closed-minded and judgmental, Nico is open-hearted and accepting. He represents the possibility of connection and companionship, something that Layla has longed for but believed was unattainable. #### Layla's inner conflict. However, Nico's acceptance doesn't immediately resolve Layla's inner turmoil. While Nico sees her wings as something beautiful, Layla still feels conflicted about them. She has spent her entire life hiding her wings, associating them with her loneliness and separation from the world. Nico's affection complicates her feelings. While he embraces her fully, she isn't sure if she can embrace herself. Layla's wings symbolize her difference and uniqueness, but they also represent her fears and insecurities. She struggles with the desire to belong while also fearing that her wings make her inherently different. This inner conflict is the emotional core of the story. Even as she grows closer to Nico, she grapples with whether or not she can allow herself to be truly vulnerable. Her wings, in this way, serve as both a gift and a curse. They allow her to experience the world in a way that others cannot, but they also make her feel trapped in her own skin, unable to fully connect with those around her. Nico's presence forces her to confront these feelings. #### the climax. A choice between freedom and belonging. As Layla and Nico's relationship deepens, the question of whether Layla can ever fully belong becomes more pressing. There comes a moment when Layla must choose between embracing her wings, her true self, or continuing to hide and suppress her identity to fit in with the human world. The climax of the story occurs when Layla finally reveals her wings to Nico in the daylight, a symbolic act of her decision to stop hiding. This moment is charged with tension, as it represents Layla's decision to either accept her true self or continue living in fear of rejection. When Nico sees her wings in their full splendor, he is not repulsed or frightened. Instead, he is awestruck by their beauty. This moment is pivotal because it shows Layla that acceptance is possible. She doesn't have to choose between her wings and human connection. She can have both. However, the story doesn't end with a neat resolution. Layla's journey towards self-acceptance is ongoing. While Nico's acceptance of her wings is a significant step, Layla still has work to do in terms of accepting herself. The story ends on a hopeful note, with Layla and Nico walking together, her wings no longer hidden. But it's clear that her internal journey is far from over. #### symbolism and interpretation. The wings in the story are a powerful symbol of individuality and the struggles that come with being different in a conformist society. Layla's wings set her apart, making her an object of both envy and fear. Throughout the story, the wings symbolize not just her literal ability to fly, but also the weight of carrying an identity that society doesn't understand or accept. Nico's character represents the possibility of love and acceptance in spite of, or perhaps because of, those differences. He doesn't see Layla's wings as something to be hidden, but rather as something to be celebrated. His acceptance of her wings symbolizes the idea that true connection comes when we embrace our authentic selves and allow others to see us as we are. At its core, Golden Wings is a story about the search for belonging and the courage it takes to reveal our true selves. It's a story that resonates with anyone who has ever felt different or out of place, offering a message of hope that acceptance is possible. But it must begin with self-acceptance. ### conclusion. Golden Wings is a beautifully written story that explores themes of identity, isolation, and self-acceptance. Through Layla's journey, the reader is invited to reflect on the ways in which we hide parts of ourselves in order to fit in, and the toll that can take on our emotional well-being. The story's ending, though hopeful, is a reminder that the journey towards self-acceptance is ongoing, and that true freedom comes when we are able to embrace our full selves, wings and all.